let's speak to Mr. Grandpa Brian.
Yes!
Yes, Grandpa. How are you?
Well, I want to talk to you, start with, I want to talk to you about the biggest positive of the game.
Tell me.
Now, there's no doubt in Conte's mind who he's got to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, that's Dombele, Tanganga and Ali.
Do you think, Grandpa, on the Tanganga one, I mean, we've seen good performances from him in the past. He's a young player coming through. Would you prefer just to cut your losses and get some money in for him, or would you loan him out?
I don't know. I just think he appears to me to have the wrong attitude when he's playing. He's very sort of laid back and doesn't fight enough. And I think we need fighters. We could do that. We could put him on loan and see if that helps. We don't lose anything that way.
Yeah.
And maybe then we'll get a bit more money for him then. But that's my positive. I think what Conte has really seen them playing against a pretty poor team, and they played so badly.
So Grandpa, do you think with Tanganga, just very quickly, you mentioned the mentality, but do you reckon it's a case of we just keep putting him in different positions the whole time, so he's not getting used to a standard position? It's like if there's a space and we need it filling, we just plop Tanganga in there to fill a hole, as opposed to identify an actual natural position for him and constantly let him play there.
Well, if we can find one,
that's a good point.
If we can find one, and I haven't seen one yet. I've been disappointed with him for most of the season, this season, and probably a bit last season too. So I think we just we've got to find some places for new players, and I think we've got to know who we're going to get rid of to do that. And I think they're the three positions that we need to change. On the other side, I thought that Winks was the man of the match.
Yeah,
I thought he played brilliant, and that goal was extraordinary.
Yeah. Do you think he meant it, Grandpa?
Pardon?
Do you think he meant it?
Yeah. I think he meant it. I think he might have meant it to go in, or he meant it to get very close to the front so that Kane could get his head to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought the very close was Sessegnon. I think that was the most pleasing thing. To see Sessegnon building his way to become a first-team player, and I think that was really good news, because I thought he played really well.
But what is it, Grandpa, about these players, the players that you mentioned, the Ndombele's, the Dele Allis, these kind of players coming in against lower opposition, but time and time again they let us down? I mean, we've seen that they've got the ability, but why can't they produce it on the pitch for us?
Well, Dombele is an enigma. I mean, he does brilliant things and then does bad things, but he does more bad things nowadays than he does good things. I mean, I don't think we've seen him as a man of the match now for quite a while.
Yeah, a long time.
He's got the ability. There's no question about it. And he moved more today. He was running right at the beginning. He made one or two quite long runs and one or two powerful shots, but he made so many mistakes. And we've got to have people that can break through. And I think Brian Gill I still reckon that he's going to become really good. He gets in amongst it. He's very young and he's not quite get it quite right, but he really does work hard and goes through the centre. And that's what we need, breaking down the defences, and that's what we need so that we can be closer to the goals when we shoot.
Brian Hill seems to have like a very, very good half, doesn't he? And then the second half, or the first half, he's somewhat quiet, and then the second half he comes alive, or the other way round. I don't think he's got up to 90 minutes fitness or strength in him right now, but there are positives with him, like you said, Grandpa. I completely agree, but hopefully that will grow with time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him playing while Son's out. I'd like to see him playing in Son's position.
Definitely. I mean, it's a big game today, obviously, third round of the FA Cup. We've seen most of the big teams go through, and we've seen shocks in the last yesterday with Newcastle losing to Cambridge, Kidderminster beating Reading. In terms of the next round, I mean, is there anyone that you'd like to see? I mean, Boreham Wood have made it into the next round.
Yeah, well, it's always wonderful to see people lowly coming through. I quite like to see Arsenal beaten today.
Who wouldn't, Grandpa? Who wouldn't?
No, I think I thought that I watched the Cambridge game and I thought that was a really good game. They did very well, but I didn't see the Boreham Wood game. But what did they win by?
They won 2-0 against Wimbledon.
2-0. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, Wimbledon's what? Not
Wimbledon, yeah, they're division above Boreham Wood, I believe.
Wood, yeah. So they did well, and I think it'd be great for the channel to have a team right on their doorstep.
Literally, yeah, I know. It'll be great if we could draw them away from home. But we'll be keeping you up to date with the draw as and when it happens. Don't you worry about that. But just before you go, I want to ask you about the January transfer window. You've said he knows who he wants to get rid of now, and that's a positive from today. How many are you expecting to bring in this month?
I think 3.
3. Would you be disappointed with any less?
I wouldn't mind 2, but I would be disappointed with 3. I think mainly we need 3. We maybe need more because I think we've got pretty close to a first team. But what we haven't got is a second team. So if somebody goes down like Son, it's not clear that we've got somebody that's as good as him coming in. And I think defensively, Tanganga is not the man for us, and we need somebody there. But we don't know because we haven't seen Romero much these days.
Yeah.
When he comes back, I mean, he was looking good, and when what's his name came on
today?
Yeah,
Emerson.
When Emerson came on, he did 1 or 2 good things quite quickly.
Yeah,
he needed to.
Yeah, we've got some good people there, and I think we've got a good team, and I think he's making a good team. I mean, Davis didn't do that badly today.
I thought he played well today, Davis.
Yeah, and he's somebody that's really come on under Conte.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Graham, I just want to extend on that. When you said 3 players in, do you mean 3 players literally through the door, or do you mean any of those signed on pre-contract?
Coming in through the door. Yeah, I want to see us really go for at least 4th. I think.
Do you think we can get 4th without any signings, or you think that's?
I think it'd be difficult. I think it'd be difficult because it would depend on injuries. It depend on still COVID. So we haven't got replacements for every player there that's as good as the player that we take off.
Yeah.
And they'll get a lot injured. And I think that's the important thing that Conte will look at, I'm sure. To have a first team which has got the best that we can buy.
Yeah, well, let's hope Daniel Levy hears your message and we do get some signings through the door. But Grandpa, always great to speak to you, and we shall speak to you soon.
See you soon, Grandpa.
Good to see you, Brian.
Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure.